Your brain was hijacked, not by an enemy, not by a stranger, by something you carry in your pocket every single day. You wake up, and before your eyes fully open, your hand is already reaching for your phone. Before a single thought of your own forms, someone else's content is already flooding your mind, someone else's opinion, someone else's outrage, and your brain, still half asleep, accepts all of it, without resistance, without control. You sit down to work on something that matters, and within minutes, your mind drifts. 30 minutes pass, and now you're behind, frustrated, guilty, and you say the same thing you always say. I'm so lazy. But here's the truth no one is telling you. You are not lazy, you are overstimulated. And there is a profound difference. To understand what's happening, you need to understand one thing: dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but that's not right. Dopamine is not the reward. Dopamine is the anticipation of the reward. Every time you pick up your phone, your brain releases dopamine, not because anything good happened, but because something good might happen. And that possibility is engineered. Every app you use was built by engineers whose only job was to maximize the time you spend inside it. They studied slot machines, they studied gambling behavior, and they built the same mechanics into the device you carry everywhere. Variable reward, intermittent reinforcement, endless novelty. The same system keeping a gambler pulling a casino lever is keeping you scrolling at 2 a.m. This is not an accident. This is the product. Your attention is the product. As Epictetus once said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Are you the master of your own mind, or are you the product? Here's what this does to your brain over time. Your brain reshapes itself based on how you use it. Every behavior you repeat strengthens the neural pathway behind it. Every time you reach for your phone, the moment you feel bored, you strengthen the pathway that says, boredom must be escaped immediately. Every time you fill silence with noise, you strengthen the pathway that says, silence is a threat, and slowly, without noticing, you train your brain to be incapable of discomfort, incapable of patience, incapable of depth, because depth is slow, and your brain has been trained for fast. The Stoics had a word for this pattern, akrasia, acting against your own best judgment, knowing what you should do, and doing something else anyway. They saw it as the greatest failure of the human mind, not because the person is bad, but because they surrendered the one thing that separates a directed life from a wasted one, the will. As Seneca wrote, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. When your attention is everywhere, your life goes nowhere. Here's where most people make their mistake. They try to fix distraction with willpower, forcing themselves to sit down, fighting their own brain, and it works for a day, maybe two. Then the resistance wins, because you cannot out-willpower a conditioned brain. The real solution is not more willpower, it's environment design. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology named it. They did not trust themselves to resist temptation in the moment. They built lives that removed temptation before the moment arrived. You cannot crave what you cannot see, so change the environment first. Phone in another room, not face down on the desk. Another room, notifications off, not silenced, off. One tab open, not 20. These are not dramatic changes, they are strategic ones, and they work before you even need willpower. But environment alone is not enough. Because the real work the Stoics pointed to is internal. Here is what they practiced that most people have forgotten. Voluntary discomfort. They called it ascesis, the deliberate practice of choosing difficulty before life forces it on you. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius about this. He described going days eating simple food, sleeping on a hard floor, not because he had to, but because he wanted to prove to himself that he could. Your attachment to constant stimulation is a form of fear. Fear of boredom, fear of silence, fear of your own thoughts. And every time you escape that discomfort, the fear grows. But every time you stay, every time you choose discomfort instead of escape, you prove the opposite. And slowly, that proof accumulates into confidence, into resilience, into mental strength that no motivational content will ever give you. Because mental strength is not built by watching other people be strong. It is built by being strong yourself, in small moments, in the moments no one else sees. So here is where we land. You are not lazy. You were never lazy. You were hijacked by systems built to capture your attention and never let go. And they succeeded. But that is not the end of the story, because you are here, which means part of you already knows something needs to change. So here is what you do. Today, not next Monday, today, identify the one source of stimulation that steals the most of your attention. One app, one habit, and create one moment of friction around it. One change, not a complete overhaul, one change, because that one change is proof to your brain that you are the one making the decisions, not the algorithm, not the notification. You, as Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. That freedom is available to you. It always was. Your mind, your attention, your life. Take it back. Comment below, I control my attention. Not as a performance, as a decision. Starting now.